All right, this is a little comp eliminator motor here at Westside, and it's 330 cubic inch and twin fours on it, and this thing is a beast. It makes over 960 horse, 2.96 or so cubic inch per cube, which is just incredible if you're familiar with naturally aspirated stuff. Anyways, but also what's really exciting about this motor is we're going to do a lot of testing. So the customer wants to switch it over to a single four and see what it makes, and then take the dry sump off and see what it makes. So we're going to get a lot of back-to-back dyno pulls and seeing everything that this thing does. So I'll show you after we make the changes and each dyno pull with each change and tell you what the difference is. So it should be really cool. Alright guys, now you can see we've just switched the intake manifold. It's basically the same lower with a different upper half, and went to a pretty small single carburetor. It's what you're allowed to use in econo, and we'll give her a few pulls and get it to stabilize and make sure we got our fuel in the right manner, and we'll see what she's got. And then we got some different size shear plates and stuff we're going to test, so we're going to pull this thing several times with different shear plates to see which one's best and which one's does the best. Anyways, getting ready to pull on this thing and get a baseline for the single four.
All right, so I kind of misspoke in that first one. I kind of worded it wrong. So that engine makes 2.91 horsepower, just over that, per cubic inch. It's a beast. It's high revving, but it is a beast. It's a comp eliminator motor, and so with the twin carburetor setup in its full beast mode, so to speak, it made 965 horse, because it's 331. And then we average that horsepower between 9,000 and 10,500 RPM, because that's its usable range. That's the way those cars are set up. I mean, it's a high revving comp eliminator car. So with the twin carburetor, dry sump, full mill deal, it made 965. Then you see the dyno pull. Then we went ahead and put the single four, and the single four was a lot smaller. And I'll show you that pull. I think I have it. I lost some of my videos. I was trying to use a GoPro and it wouldn't edit, so I'm gonna get better with that. But anyways, and so not only are we going to give you the peak horsepower of the change, we're also giving you the average of the change. So So after we got a baseline with the single carburetor and got it jetted correctly, the total horsepower loss, so on the peak, it lost 39 horsepower. But through that average, that usable RPM range, 9 to 10.5, it lost 32. So going from twins to a single, smaller carburetor, 39 and 32 on the average. And after we got that, we messed around with different. So if you notice on a twin four barrel intake, the top is flat, and you basically have one throat for each cylinder. And then on a single four with a sheet metal manifold, you know, they're kind of like teepeed. So what we played around with, and the owner had made them, he made 4 different shear plates, reversion plates, however you want to call it, to go on the top of his TP manifold, which I'm not going to show you those because it's kind of private information, trying to get the most out of his comp eliminator car. But I will tell you, just in plates, there was 10 horsepower difference by the time we got all said and done. And then the last thing we did was we took the dry sump off and put an external wet sump. So it's not an internal wet sump, it's an external wet sump, but it's still a wet sump pan and a wet sump system, and it lost another 9 horsepower. So when you're almost 10, and it would lose more if it was an internal, wet sump pump. It'd lose probably a couple more, the way that creates some splash and stuff inside the pan. Anyways, and that external one creates quite a bit of vacuum. So, you know, the vacuum pump or using a really good dry sump pump acts like a vacuum pump, or actually even better most of the time if you get a really good one like an Auto Verde. But anyways, that creates horsepower with the ring pack and everything else. So, I mean, all said and done, when we got done with it, we went from 965 horsepower to 897. So a pretty big change just on those few things when you're really kind of doing a max effort, small cubic inch, naturally aspirated motor. Anyways, I thought you guys might all find that interesting. I really love doing the back-to-backs because you can really see what one single change does and optimize it, and then the next one. So anyways, hope you guys liked it. I'll see y'all soon.